Let's roll. Hello. Today I want to talk about something a little bit different, how to carry camera equipment while backpacking. So I'm going to talk a little bit at first about what I use currently, and then I'm going to go back and do like a multi-part segment and talk about other types of cameras, different types of microphones, different kinds of bags, and then all of the other accessories. And there's a ton of accessories and there's a ton of stuff out there. So I'm going to talk about size and weight and why I ended up with the system that I use now, because it's definitely not the smallest and it's definitely not the lightest. There are lighter options out there. I like to do a little bit more with it. I am a photographer and a videographer. I've been a photographer for going on 17 years. I do that professionally. It's my job. I do it every day. And I've started shooting video in the last maybe 3 or 4 years. I've gone from just bringing a couple things to making things as small as possible, and now I've gotten to where I'm at today. My current camera setup is a Canon R6, and this has a Sennheiser MKE 200 microphone on it. And this is a Canon RF 24mm. This is a 1.8mm lens. Sorry, it's not a 1.8mm lens. Let me talk like I know what I'm talking about. It's a 24mm lens. Aperture is 1.8. It's a macro lens, and it has image stabilization built into it. I did a couple little things I added to it was the lens hood and also an ND filter. And the ND filter I'll kind of get to when I talk about the accessories. But if you want to shoot at that wide open aperture, an ND filter is really necessity for that. This little guy hanging off the side, I have started DIYing things. So this is just a wrist strap like that. Another DIY thing that I made, and this is how I carry my camera, is a Dyneema bag. So this is just a simple roll top bag that I fixed some loops on the back. This is my Z-Packs Arc Blast. This gets fixed to these, they're basically guy lines with some hardware hooks on them. But in essence, this camera bag kind of sits on the front of my chest like this, and it gives me easy access to the camera whenever I want it. If I hit some bad weather, I can close this bag up and my camera equipment is perfectly safe. This first video will be part 1. And this has just been a brief overview of what I use. In part 2, I'm going to talk about cameras. In part 3, I'm going to talk about microphones. And in part 4, I'm going to talk about other accessories. But for now, I'm going to end this one and then we'll get on with the video all about cameras coming up next. Thanks, guys.